Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Room Build series. On today's episode, you find me in a very stranded Magnolia Promenade, and I will explain why in but a moment. But first things first, Mr. Editor, cue the intro. So, ladies and gentlemen, you join me in the middle of a PC rebuild, and that is through no fault of my own, but I'll get to that in a minute. So the idea today is I'm going to be working on a modern style kitchen. That is the plan, and kind of see how this pans out. I'm also going to use this time to have a little bit of a chat with yourselves and give you guys a little bit of an update of what's been going on the channel, and also some plans moving forward, and some things that are going to be going on, and some cool stuff you should really be aware of. So, first things first. PC. So PC had a wee little bit of a meltdown, and not in a good way. So let's put down a nice wooden floor here, and what I'm going to do is go for a light wooden paneling around the edge here, something like that. And I'm looking for a stone highlight wall along here is my plan. So let's talk about the PC. Right then, best way of describing it is something in the registry broke, and if you're not very technically minded, I apologise. So something in the main core files broke, and in doing so took out a lot of my stuff with it. And to give you guys a bit of an analogy for this is something that I heard a long time ago, and I can't help agree with. This fits basically what happened to my PC perfectly. So best way of describing it, the registry file broke, and basically it essentially shat its pants. It then proceeded to grab said pants that it had just soiled, put them above its head, and then swing them around violently, spraying the contents basically everywhere. And yeah, that's kind of what happened to most of my files. So to give you guys a bit of a breakdown of the software, not to mention I couldn't get into Windows. That was one thing that happened. I could get in some weird kind of safe mode thing that was really not helping matters in the slightest. And yeah, basically it took out Adobe. My whole Creative Cloud was fried, and the license for it was also screwed. So that was a fun chat with Adobe software, although I have to admit Adobe were stunningly awesome. The whole thing, the whole team, they were awesome. Bandicam, my screen recording software, some of you are now screaming because they thought I was using Fraps. I thought I made that clear from an early stage. Me and Fraps don't really get on that well. It's nothing bad. I've certainly not had a falling out with their software or their engineers or anything. I just personally don't get on with it, and I prefer sort of the UI for Bandicam. So yeah, that was screwed. Had to contact their support, and they were amazing. And then iTunes, in doing so, basically I have a bit of a strange setup with my kind of media and such. So there are a few people in my house. We have smartphones, obviously. We have multiple computers, including laptops, and I also have a media server that is a full, it's not a little NAS or something, this is a full Windows operating software, and literally it's there with base hardware, which is actually quite ridiculous specs for a PC. It's a 16 gig of RAM kind of beast server. But anyway, that's aside the point. This is not a spec video. That's there, and that just basically beams media around the house. Every single one of them is connected via Google Drive, which seemed like a great foolproof idea, and the actual fact is only a fool would have done what I did, which is have all of my iTunes sync to Google Drive. I'm now gesturing with my hands, not sure why I thought that was a good idea. So they sync to Google Drive, and then from Google Drive it then syncs to all the computers in my house, which is great until the registry crashed, took out most of my files, and then proceeded to delete a large quantity of my iTunes library. The problem is, by the time I was realising what was happening as I was watching my PC basically cry itself to death in front of me, was that it was now replicating said information of said death around the house. So before I could get to my media server, which is kind of my go-to if anything goes wrong, that's what I call the stable build of the house. That is got the most reliable connection, the most reliable everything in it. Before I could get to it to basically yank the internet connection out, which kind of didn't do the media server any good in the slightest, because Plex was being used at the time, and that was not happy about that in the slightest. But there again, let's be honest, if I went and unplugged your veins, you'd be pretty peed off about it, and I'm kind of feeling that Plex had a right to be angry. Corrupted a few files through that, but basically unplugged the internet, but by that time already half of my library had been erased beyond repair, so that sucked. That was not what I needed. And yeah, it's then taken me a few days to get back up and running. In amongst this, I've obviously done all the graphics for Pokemon, which was awesome fun, I have to admit. I loved doing that. So I hope you guys have checked that out. The Let's Play first episode came out on Saturday. I have to admit, I really enjoyed that, so looking forward to bringing out some more episodes of that in the future. Also looking at maybe some more Let's Plays coming in, because I actually am quite enjoying doing live gameplay. I love doing house builds, and I would be lying to say that I don't miss doing them as often. The only thing I will say is these days with the channel, where I'm producing so much content weekly at the moment, bearing in mind that I produce 3 videos a week, hold down a full-time job, and also have to edit all of this and produce the graphics and do everything and basically maintain the channel. House builds take up so much time, so kind of having issues with maintaining them at the moment, so it's been nice to do something else that's kind of taken a bit of the pressure off. But don't worry, I'm not getting rid of house builds. I'm looking to bring some stuff back, and I'm just going to look to basically adjust the schedule slightly so it makes it a little bit easier. But needless to say, I hope you guys have enjoyed the Pokemon so far. Obviously only 1 episode gone live, but there will be more, and I'm going to sort out about maybe bringing back another series as well. Might get a few things going. I kind of want to get a few Let's Plays going, because I've been thinking a lot about the channel, and obviously I love the channel for what it is. I've hit some amazing milestones in the it feels like a long time we've been doing this, but in YouTube terms it's nothing. We've been going, just coming up on, I think it's 20 odd months we've been going now. And so the channel's been around for a little while, and we've hit 1,000 subscribers. I've been able to work with 2 amazingly big channels, and possibly 2 of the nicest guys that I've had the pleasure of dealing with. So that's Curses Parody and also Simified Arthur, and both of which were, well, just amazing gentlemen, and so pleased that they took the time to actually work with me, and I'm hoping that maybe we can try and work on something again in the future. But so that's obviously what's happened in really what I consider a pretty short time on the channel. So I'm so amazed with where we've come. I also feel like the channel's hit kind of a weird sort of stagnant point, where content-wise, I've been producing much the same content for the last little while now. So I'm kind of in a position where I want to make a change to things. So that's why, if you've noticed, things like RML Life have turned up. Project Pixel is now something that comes out a lot more. So I'm trying to bring those out for kind of doing something a bit different, and that's breathing new life into the channel. I'm enjoying editing and stuff again. And that's one of the biggest problems I've had, is editing. I found not that I've been disliking producing the content, that's not the issue, it's just the editing I found a bit editing has got to be, and I'm sure most YouTubers will agree, that editing is the worst part about producing content. It is the part that takes the longest, it is the most nightmare, and of all the parts, that is the part that most people are probably not as in love with as they should be. So I'm looking forward to getting to a point where I'm back falling in love with editing again, and that is what Pokemon has done so far. The first episode, animating that, editing that, was the most fun I've had on the channel for a long time. So hoping that by doing this we can keep going. Still going to be producing Sims content, because things like this is where I enjoy stuff, where I can just sit here, I can ramble at the microphone, and I feel like I'm letting you guys sort of get to know me. I then read all your comments and such, and then I feel like I get to know you guys, and between this sort of few of us, we kind of building a very small niche community, but we're all Sims fans, we're all gaming fans, and we just want to be in a happy place. And as far as I'm concerned, I've mentioned this before, the channel for me is not a case of building numbers. I'm not here to try and make millions and millions of pounds and get millions of subscribers. If I do, That's an added bonus, but that's not my purpose for the channel. My purpose for the channel is to make you happy. And as far as I'm concerned, if I produce one video, even if it takes me 10 hours to produce that one video, as long as at the end of it, one person walks away with a smile on their face, either giggling at what I've said, laughing, or just in general finding what's happened on the channel amusing, whether I've made a mistake or just elbowed the desk, because apparently people seem to like that when I hurt myself. As long as that happens, I'm happy, and it just is so rewarding when I see you guys like my content and stuff. And I get a few comments from some of you awesome people, and you just say how much you've enjoyed it, and honestly, I can feel myself sort of welling up at the moment. That's terrible. And this is happy things, but it just really does make me feel so awesome when you guys, excuse me, when you guys watch it. So yeah, it's just, trying to focus, but I'm also trying to talk at the same time, and kind of my brain is very much a collection of ideas running round and round and round in circles, and I have to pick the right one. And the problem is I struggle to pick the right one because I'm trying to think of the next funny thing to say, and not everything I say is intentionally funny, but it just kind of happens and flows out of here. Lol. Okay, I just lolled on the channel. I don't think I've done that before. I don't think I've ever physically said lol on the channel before. God, my vocab this evening is taking a nosedive. I'm also very aware time-wise I've got to get this video up, so I'm kind of in the middle of talking, rambling, but also kind of aware of time. Yeah, this video has been going on a little while, so I should probably get back to building and talk less about weird stuff, because I think we're going for about 10 minutes at the moment. So let's finish this off, and then what I can do is let you get back to your awesome days, and I can go back and do some more content production, and we can get some more things ready and some more awesome stuff on the way. But needless to say, let's grab the bamboo in here. So let's talk a little bit about the kitchen. Very quickly, let's talk briefly about the kitchen. So horseshoe-shaped kitchen here, nice oven. We've got the dishwasher stuff. We've got the fridge, decorative items. Got the coffee thing. That is the stainless steel auto pot. There you go. Actually, is this the thing that requires 2 bits of... There's one of these that requires 2 bits to make it work, and I can never work out which one it is. I'm terrible at this. Grind-O-Matic, and that's the espresso engine. Oh, I don't know. Oh, I'm terrible at this. Unlocked. It doesn't say it needs it, but it might need it. Look, I'll tell you. No, it can't need it. No, that's not happening. Okay, I'm going to assume that that's fine. We then got a nice bar here. Nice bar going all the way through the centre of the room, like that. And then we've got a nice little table over here in the corner. And then what I'm doing is finishing up on the highlight wall here with some decorative items. And then basically, I think I'm going to wrap this one up for the day. And we kind of come full circle with kind of talking about the videos, talking about what's happening, talking about some changes. So yeah, the channel I've been thinking about for the last little while, and I'm not rethinking the channel. The channel is staying the same. I just want to change things up a little bit, and I'm kind of hitting a point where the channel is growing and it's awesome, and I now want to branch a little bit more, and hopefully that means that together we can build an even more awesome community, and that is my goal here. I've made it no secret for a long time that views are just a nice little bonus. The happiness is the key component for me. But my plan with the channel is, if and when we get to the point where this channel hopefully does okay and gets a bit bigger and such, and I want to start hosting events or getting involved in events, and I want to actually come out and meet you guys, and that is, for me, that is going to be the icing on the cake. That is the bit I want to get to. So hopefully with your help we can get there. But let's finish off this build, and then what I can do is let you have some time back in your day, and we can see each other in the next video. But last bits. Excuse me. Okay, so let's get some plants in the corners. What kind of plants? Those plants in the corners. bb.move objects Move Objects cheat is on. So Move Objects cheat is enabled. Unlock gameplay entitlement is also enabled. Bear in mind that could break your game, even though I've reinstalled. See, this is a prime example. This is a fresh install of The Sims 4, and still unlock gameplay entitlement is unlocked and broken for me. So it is really following me around. So yeah, bear that one in mind. I'm not using the debug items. There's no real reason for not using the debug items. I just decided not to. Yeah, sometimes I don't. So that's something. And really, this is going to be a nice little kitchen, dining, sitting area. Perfect really for most of your sim houses, and I think it's nice and compact really for a modern style. But ladies and gentlemen, if you have liked this video, please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button down below. It means so much to me if you do. Also, while you're down there, tons of links to all my playlists, things in the description you should really be checking out. But if you are feeling particularly lazy and just want to watch another video, give you those two icons on the top of your screen a cheeky click, ladies and gentlemen, to be taken to one of my other playlists. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm out. Stay awesome, and I will see you in the next video.